first up.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, welcome to El Paso. As law enforcement officers on the border with Mexico, our primary concern is the welfare and safety of our citizens and our nation. The terrorism threat to our country is very real. It is unfortunate that most Americans have already forgotten the fear, the terror, and the anger that we experienced on 9/11. The majority of illegal aliens that come across our border are individuals looking for a better life. Unfortunately, there are a large number of criminals also entering among them. Border control must be a priority. The fact that border security and illegal immigration is the responsibility of the federal government does not lessen the burden being placed on border law enforcement agencies that are already overburdened, understaffed, and underfunded. Law enforcement and criminal justice expenses associated with illegal immigration exceed $89 million annually for border counties. El Paso is one of the leading gateway cities for the transshipment of narcotics, as well as a staging area for illegal aliens. There are at least 5 powerful drug trafficking organizations operating in and through the Juarez-El Paso corridor. Hundreds of smaller groups assist the major organizations in their smuggling, stashing, transporting, distribution, and money laundering efforts. Mexican drug cartels are quietly taking over Colombia's drug trafficking rings and are becoming the world's largest criminal enterprises. Mexico does a lot of counter-drug operations, and several major traffickers have been arrested, but you do not hear of any seizures or major arrests along the U.S.-Mexico border. I have long suspected that drug traffickers and alien smugglers are in control of the border and not the Mexican Army or law enforcement agencies. The economic conditions in Mexico and the long history of corruption of law enforcement agencies at all levels of government make it easy for drug cartels to operate. Our government should do whatever it needs to be done to take control of our border. Senate Bill 2611 requires that federal, state, and locals meet with their Mexican counterparts before building either a fence or installing barriers. Mexico strongly opposes the erection of any fence on any part of the border. This is tantamount to a homeowner asking a burglar if he approves of the homeowner installing bars on his windows. It is not in the best interest of the Mexican government for the United States to improve security on the border. Section 607 of House Resolution 4437 provides $100 million for border county sheriffs from Texas to California to hire, train, and equip additional deputies. It also implements Operation Linebacker, proposed by the Texas Border Sheriffs Coalition, to form a second line of defense and protect our border. One step away from the federal line is our jurisdiction. When drug loads and illegal immigrants get past the Border Patrol, when a crime is committed against a resident or an illegal alien, we, the sheriffs, have to deal with the consequences. We urge approval of Section 607. Senate bill authorizes only $50 million for any agency within 100 miles of either the Canadian or Mexican border. In my opinion, the money would be so diluted because of the large number of agencies involved that it could turn out to be a waste of money. In January of 2006, Governor Rick Perry decided to provide funding to the 16 Texas border sheriffs to implement Operation Linebacker. The result of Operation Linebacker has been outstanding in regards to crime deterrence, drug seizures, arrest made, and citizen satisfaction. El Paso County Sheriff's Office has been criticized and accused of enforcing immigration law by several misguided and misinformed groups. House Resolution 4437 clarifies that states have the inherent authority to enforce all immigration laws. The Senate bill is similar, but also states that states have inherent authority to enforce only the criminal provisions of immigration law. The assistance of state and local law enforcement agencies can mean the difference between success and failure in enforcing immigration laws. The more than 650,000 officers nationwide represent a massive force multiplier. House Resolution 4437 would give us all the authority we need to enforce immigration law. I wasn't elected to fail in my responsibility to uphold the law. The federal government has failed to provide a response to the threats along the border. The law-abiding taxpaying rural residents in my county demand equal protection from those who have no regard for human life or human dignity. They insist on an immediate response to escalating threats by drug and human traffickers. They pay taxes to live free of intimidation. I will not fail them. The question is, will you continue to fail them? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sheriff.